second square. 1 Newton is actually 1 kg because it's a force. Force is mass into acceleration. So mass is 1 kg and the acceleration should be 1 meter per second square. So that means what? Here, see, the kg has a unit, has a power of 1. The meter has a power of 1. And the seconds has a power of -2. That means here, my A power will be 1, meter power is 1, seconds power is -2. So let's see. Now kg is represented as 1000 gram by 1 gram. And what is the power of A? Power of A means it is the power of the mass, and mass's power is 1, meter power is 1, this power is -2. So let us put this 1. Next come to the meter. 1 meter means 100 centimeter by 1 centimeter, and the power is again 1. Similarly, 1 second by 1 second, and the power is -2 because times power is -2. So how much we are getting? So we are getting here gram cuts, centimeter cuts, second cuts. So what we are getting, it is 1000, 10 to the power 2, and here 10 to the power 3 and 10 to the power 2. So 10 to the power 5. That means 1 into 10 to the power 5. So N2 is basically coming 10 to the power 5. So we can write here, that means 1 Newton is actually 10 to the power 5. And the CGS unit we know that we write it as dynes. So this is how the SI unit has been converted to the CGS unit. And I told you that this is the N1. And first of all, we have to see what are the dimensions of the mass. Mass is force into acceleration. So basically, if this is the force is mass into the acceleration. So that means it will be m, and acceleration is lt minus 2. So from here we can see it is m, l, t minus 2. So see, the power of m is 1, length is 1, time is -2. So in place of a I put 1, in place of length I put 1, and in place of the power I put -2. So from here I am getting 1 Newton is coming 10 to the power 5 dynes. So this is the conversion of one system of units to the other. Okay? Now, our second topic is to check the correctness of the formula using dimensions. To check the correctness of the formulas using dimensions. For example, they will be giving you certain terms like work, like force, surface tension, moment of inertia, and they will give you certain dimensions for that. For example, energy, they might give you ml square t minus 3 or m square L t minus 1. Now, is energy equivalent to these dimensions? That only we have to check. That means we will be checking it through dimension whether the term provided for physics has these dimensions or not. So we will be checking the correctness of the dimension, okay, for a particular term which they will be giving you. For example, let us see. Let us do this. Here, first sum, what we can take is, suppose they have given you a term like u, or let us take this term Okay, so let us see time period of a simple pendulum is given as 2 pi root over L by G. You have to check whether this formula is correct or not. You have to check whether this given formula is correct or not. Now, one thing about dimension, let me tell you. In dimensions, you cannot check the dimensions of particular constants. 2 pi or any number, suppose 5 unit. So 5 cannot be tested. So whichever is a constant, that we cannot check. And in dimensions, one more important form, you keep it in mind, that in dimensions, whenever you do length plus length, it is actually not 2 length. It is not 2 length. Remember it. It is not 2 length. It is only length. Because when you add 2 lengths, what do you get? You get length only. Similarly, when you subtract a length from another length, 5 meter minus 8 meter, what do you get? 3 meter. And 3 meter is a length. Similarly, when you add mass with mass, you get mass. When you subtract mass with mass, you get mass. Similarly, when you add time with time or subtract time with time, you actually get time. So keep this in mind. It is not L plus L, is not actually 2L. Okay? So coming back, let us check that whether this formula is dimensionally correct or not. So see, we'll divide it in 2 parts. One is a left hand side and one is a right hand side. So in the left hand side, we have got T. So we know that T's dimensional formula is only T. In the right hand side, as I told you that I will not take 2 pi. I will take L by G root over. So that means L to the power half, because it is a root over L, by root over G. Now what is G? G is acceleration due to gravity, and that is acceleration only. So acceleration's formula was L T minus 2, and it will be 2 to the power, this to the power half, because it's a square root given. So what we can do? Let us solve it. So we will do L to the power half minus half from here, and T to the power, it is minus 1, so comes up as 1. So basically you can see that this goes, so it is T to the power 1. And this is what? T to the power 1. So basically the dimensions of the left side and the right side, they are same. So we can say that this formula is correct. So see how using dimensions we found out that the formula is a correct formula or not. Okay, so let's try one more. Okay, friends. So let me tell you, I told you that when we'll be, because it's not possible for me to give you 100 dimensions. So let me introduce to you another term, that is density. And we know density is mass by volume. And mass is m. Volume is length into breadth into height. So it is actually m L minus 3. This is density. Now let me introduce another term, which is surface tension. Surface tension. Okay. So what is surface tension? Let us give it a name, symbol. Surface tension is force per unit length. So what is force? Force is m L P minus 2 by L. So which will be m P minus 2. So this is surface tension. So keep this in mind. So we will be using these two. As I told you that when we will be coming across any new thing, then I will be showing you the dimensions there only. Okay, and be applying it in the sum. So let us see another application of how to check an equation using dimensions. Okay, friends. So here they are telling that there is a formula given H equal to 2 sigma cos theta by r square d into g. This is what? This is the height of the liquid. This is actually height of the liquid. They will all tell you, so don't worry. Height of the liquid, because we always will be coming across certain terms which you are not accustomed to right now, because you are doing the class 11 chapter for the first time. So you don't have to worry, I will introduce you to all the terms. So this is the height of the liquid. As I told you, this is surface tension. This is the angle, and I told you that angle does not have any dimensions. This is acceleration due to gravity or acceleration. This is density, I just now told you. And this is the radius. Okay. So radius is measured in what? Length. Density, just now I told you, it will be m L to the power minus 3. This also we know. Acceleration is what? L T minus 2. Cos theta. Theta does not have any dimensions. Surface tension, I told you, force per unit length. And 2 is a constant. So 2 will not have any dimensions. So let's see whether this side and this side, the dimensions are correct or not. If the dimensions on both sides do not match, then this formula is wrong. So let's see. Left side is H and we represented it as L because height is measured in length only. So next here we will use this formula 2 sigma cos theta by r square d into g. Out of that we won't take 2, we won't take cos theta. They don't have dimensions. So sigma was surface tension. So force per unit length. Okay. So it was coming m T minus 2. Surface tension, sigma. Next is the radius square. So radius is represented as length, so it is L square. This is density. So density, just now I told you, it is the mass per unit volume. So ml minus 3. Next is acceleration. It is lt minus 2. So let's see here now. M cuts. T to the power minus 2, T to the power minus 2 cuts. It is L to the power 3 and L to the power minus 3, so it also cuts. That means there is no dimension coming here. So this is telling it is a dimensionless. dimensionless. But this is showing the dimension of length. So both sides are not matching. So we can tell that this formula is dimensionally incorrect, means there cannot be any formula of this. Clear? The third topic which we will be dealing today is derivation of formula using dimensions. Derivation of formula using the dimensions. That means what we are going to study today now, that is how we can derive a formula. Now certain constants will be given to you. For example, that a particular thing will depend upon length, it can depend upon the time, it can depend upon the angle, it can depend upon the density. So what will the formula come out? That is the main target for us to know. Okay? So this is a very important thing, that is we can always analyze and find out that if I give you certain constants, how can you create a formula? So for example, let us write down one sum for that. So, okay friends, so this is a sum. Derive an expression for the time period t of a pendulum which may depend upon. So, time period of the pendulum is depending upon what? The mass of the bob, m, the length of the pendulum, l, and acceleration due to gravity, g. So, how will the time period depend upon these three factors? We don't know. So, we can start the sum as, let the time period depends upon the mass to the power a. A I don't know. The length b I don't know. And the acceleration due to gravity c, which I don't know. Okay. So we can take here any constant. And I know that constant doesn't have any dimension, so we don't have to think about this. Basically, you can take any constant, any number, no problem, because dimensions of a constant does not exist. So let's see. Mass m to the power A, length L to the power B, and acceleration I told you L T minus 2 to the power C. And on left side, what can it become? It will be the T, and there will be T to the power 1. There will be no length, there will be no mass. So let's convert it. M to the power 0, L to the power 0, T to the power 1, K. Now let's see, any other M? Only M to the power A, N to the power B plus C, and T to the power minus 2C. Okay? So now if I compare the dimensions on both sides, if I compare the dimensions on both sides, what we will get? We will get that M to the power 0 will be M to the power A. That means A is 0. Similarly, N to the power 0 is N to the power B plus C. That means I can write B plus C is 0. And T to the power 1, this side is T to the power minus 2C. So I can write minus 2C equals 1. That means C equal to minus half. So let us put here C equal to minus half. So we can get B equal to half. Clear? So we got the powers of A as 0, B as half, and C as minus half. So let's apply it.